Welcome to Tell Us Your Stories. I'm so thrilled you've jumped on to watch this. The series of Tell Us Your Stories is all themed around the power of story. Because every person has a story. You have a story. My guest on the show today has a story. Damian Chatfield, a minister in the marketplace. 18 years ago, he had an encounter with God. And that encounter has led him to where he now is. As a minister in the marketplace, in his place of business, it is not rare that his clients get encountered by God and get saved. I'm sure you're going to be very encouraged today. So enjoy this next series of episodes on Tell Us Your Stories with Damian.
I'd love you to share with us one of the defining moments you had with God that you would say catapulted you into the season you are now in.
Yeah, that's a really good one because for me that catapulsion came basically about 17, 18 years ago, and it's really, I'm starting to see some real fruit of that even right now in this season. It's like the Lord... really, I had an encounter with the Lord in my own bedroom, back in 2001, and at that time I'd just given my heart to the Lord, and for a period after I'd given my heart, there wasn't a lot of change that had really gone in within me. However, when I'd had that encounter with the Lord, just suddenly things changed, and He spoke through me, and had a personal conversation with Him through Jeremiah chapter 1, and he just went through. Then it was like a one-to-one conversation, and there's just left me with no doubt that my God had an intimate plan for my life, and He was absolutely real. It was just amazing. Yeah.
What was the bottom line of that encounter for you?
Good. Something I now had something to live for.
Wow.
My life before that, it was meaningless, and I had my life would. It would just go. It was just nothing, I used to drink a lot, and I was addicted to certain drugs and stuff like that. In fact, on the night that I had my encounter, I was living with another guy, and to be quite honest, he'd been out in the lounge room smoking pot, and I walked out of the bedroom from that encounter, and he looked at me. His eyes were all big, and he said, "Look, I don't know what happened, but I know that something's happened." Wow. So that was a testimony in itself, and it was...
that's an encounter.
That's an encounter.
Not just some fluffy feeling that you had watching a movie, but you actually met with God.
I met with God.
And it overflowed from the bedroom and touched this man. Wow. Wow. Yeah. And so what was His word to you? What do you believe the Lord's put on your life? What do you burn for?
Good. I burn for the nations, as you just mentioned, and that's also outlined there in Jeremiah chapter 1. He said, I've made you a prophet. I've called you to be a prophet to the nations. For me, that took a lot to even believe that He could use someone who didn't even have a lot of self-worth and for God to create that identity about who I am in Christ Jesus, not who the world had defined me as, but who he says that I am.
Wow.